Hello, this is a video on how to create a very simple MVC ASP.NET application. Actually, this is just C and V, controller and view. We're going to add model in another video. So I'm using Visual Studio 2017. So I'm going to start with a file, new project, ASP.NET web application, and I'm going to call this MVC demo. Hit OK. It's going to be empty application with MVC. A number of files and folders will be generated, and we're going to use a couple of them. So here are the files and folders. App start is where everything starts. So the route config.cs is how we're going to structure our controller and the views following this URL syntax. The controller will come first, and the action, and then an optional ID. All right, so ID is optional. The default name of the controller is home. Okay, so we might as well stick with that. So let's create a new controller called home. It's an empty controller, and the first part of the controller name, home, okay, is it should match the controller that we're going to be using. So since home is the controller, we're going to say home controller. And you generate the files. Basically, the default action is index. That's okay. We're going to create an index under the views for home controller by doing add view. So this is an index, and it's going to be empty without model, and we're not going to use a layout page. So that's all I need to do to have this view. The view is in HTML with extra syntax. This is for the Razor engine. Microsoft has extra syntactical structures that allow you to access the different server elements easier. So we're not going to use that in this tutorial, but I can just use the basic HTML syntax. Hello there. So when I run this, it's going to get compiled on the server, and then the view through the browser can be accessed through a controller. Alright, so this will fire up my Chrome. Okay, so here's a view generated by this controller, home/index. Right, home is a controller, index is the action. Okay, I'm going to add one more action in here, and then create a view for that. So let's do a public action result. Say good morning. And then again, just return a view. Because I have action say good morning, well, I have to add a new view. Add the view, say good morning. Again, without the model, without the layout page, and same as before, I'm just going to use H1 here and say good morning. All right, so one more time, compile. Fire up my Google Chrome. So again, this is the view for the second action, say good morning, and notice the URL is your localhost/home, your controller, and say good morning, your action. I'm going to make these two pages linked up together. So I'm going to go from the say good morning page to go back to index. So just use a href to go to home, index, go home. All right, and then I'm going to go to the index page again to allow the user to go to the say good morning page. Again, everything is really going through the controller. So home, say good morning action. So go say morning. All right, so remember we're not actually going to the view, but actually going to the controller, home controller, say good morning, and through the controller it'll go to this CS_HTML page. All right, so here just so hello there, which is my index page. Go say it should be good morning, and then good morning page can go home. All right, I'll fix this up in a minute. All right, so the next thing I want to so go say good morning. So the next thing I want to do is this say good morning page. I want to add a couple of first of all, a couple of BRs first, and then I want to add a form so that the user can type in some information on this form in the text box and send it to the index controller, so that the index view can show the value that the user types in this view. All right, so method is going to be post action. I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to go to the home controller, and I'm going to say show user input. All right, and then this is a form, so I'm going to have input element type is going to be a text box, and I'm going to name this going to be ID, and then BR, and then input type is equal to submit. All right, so maybe I will just call this input 1. All right, so the show user input will be a new action in the home controller expecting input 1. So this is what you need to do. In the controller, in the home controller, I need to specify this as a HTTP post method. It's going to be public, going to be a result action that is going to have the same name, show user input. All right, show user input expecting input 1. All right, show user input expecting input 1, because input 1 is coming back coming from this text box here. And then all I am going to do is to just return redirect, because I just want to just echo it back. I'm not going to do anything with that. So just redirect to a controller, and the controller is home index, and I'm going to allow this to be appended with the input provided by the user. All right, so one more time, this say good morning CS_HTML, the user going to type something here, is going to post to this action. This action is going to expect input 1, name, the text box named input 1, and then I'm just going to redirect this to home index. So home index is here, all right, but now remember earlier I said that this is ID that's optional. Well, I'm going to pass this into this index with this parameter called ID. And the way to get this ID to show up in the page is by using this collection called view data. Provide this with a key, any name that you want to specify. So user input, right, is going to be ID. All right. Okay, so now we got the user input into the controller. Controller is going to redirect to the index, passing it through this ID, following the action name index. This is going to be put into this view data collection. And now the last step in the index.cshtml, I'm going to provide a couple of BRs and then maybe an H3 over here to just show the data like this. So I'm going to type in the user input, and let me just double check. User input, same name. User input, same name, and there you go. So it's going to compile, fire up my Google Chrome. And so we start with the home index, home controller index. We fix up this go say good morning. All right, go say good morning. Say good morning is that controller or action in the good morning page. You can go back home, but now I can even have let's say Ben. All right, and submit this. So this is going to go to the post method. The method is going to be parsed. Let me just show it over here. The post method is going to grab that input one. Input one is being redirected to this index method. The ID that is expected in this root config, right, is going to take on the value being passed in and store into this view data collection before it's sent to the view. The view is just going to access the data and show up in the H3, and that's why Ben is there. Right? One more time. Hi John. So John is here. All right. If I don't specify anything in my index, again, is nothing there. All right. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.